Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out Shows, Style, and Spirit. I'm Ebony. I really appreciate you joining me. So, today I am talking about Power Book 4 Force, Episode 3 Firestarter. It was a great episode. I know we're just 3 episodes into Power Book 4, but I am really enjoying it. So, let's jump right in and you'll see why. So the episode opens up with Tommy and the blast from the past girl rehashing the past. Remember the girl with the pink sneakers from Power? She sliced the girl's face. Well, she has 10 bricks of you know what in her house in Chicago, and Tommy makes her an offer for them to collaborate and sell it together, and so she does agree. And then we have Vic Flynn. Vic is the young guy who once dated the bartender Gloria, and he's like pseudo stalking her. Vic Flynn bails out part of his crew. So he's at the police station. He has to bail out. He spends nearly $10,000 bailing out a couple of guys. And he also slid the officer some hush money who was doing the transaction for him. Vic complained to a mysterious black man that he's not doing his job. But this mysterious man was not intimidated by Vic Flynn at all. And we're going to see him later on in the episode. So the blast from the past girl, she is a pretty tough, strong Latina. She starts cutting the brick with Tommy. So the scenes are moving back and forth from Tommy to Vic Flynn. Now it's back to Tommy. So she actually asked Tommy if Ghost is coming to Chicago to get in on the action there. And that's when Tommy explains to her that Ghost is dead. She actually gives Tommy her condolences, and for a moment, Tommy kind of turns towards like his kitchen sink, almost as if he does not want her to see the sadness on his face. So that is like another hint of emotion that we see with Power Book 4, and I really appreciate it. You know, you're seeing these hard street men show a little bit of emotion. Tommy more so than we've ever seen on Power. And then they cheers to Ghost. So then Tommy meets up with his brother JP. Tommy asks who's paying for their grandmother Miriam's stay at the senior citizens home. And so JP says, I assume that she had a trust. So I have a feeling that someone in the Flynn family is footing the bill. Now you may say that's pretty like almost simple-minded, like yeah, okay, Tommy is white, his grandmother is white, and the other white characters are the Flynn family. Yes, that's true. That is very basic, but it would make sense if perhaps some of the people that Tommy is beefing with, they could be like some distant relatives, or perhaps there was some sort of transaction back in the day that went wrong, and perhaps the Flynn family owes Tommy's money or Tommy's family money. I just feel like the Flynn family is footing the bill for Tommy's grandmother to stay in that home. And I think, eventually those details will come out. It may not even be this first season. So then we see Diamond, and again, I know all the ladies love them some Diamond. He actually is at a baseball field to kick it with his brother and second in command of CBI. His name is Jay. Now, Jay is jealous of Diamond's new bond with Tommy, and he wants Diamond to just drop Tommy. But Diamond is a very loyal man, and he knows that Tommy helped negotiate to get Jay out of jail in the last episode, the previous episode. So Diamond doesn't want to forget that. So he felt like it spoke a lot of Tommy to try and be helpful. So Diamond wants to return that energy. The mysterious black man that I told you about actually works for Vic Flynn. He was recording Diamond and his brother Jay at the baseball field. He even got a shot of Jay, acting like a child and stumping off when Diamond said, I'm not just going to drop Tommy. And it's almost as if the mysterious man was like pleased that there was a disconnect between the two of them. So I don't know if the mysterious black man is from the same neighborhood as Diamond and Jay, and perhaps Jay bullied him or something, but he just seemed like he almost saw a hint of hope, with seeing the two brothers being at odds. The Flynn family's profits, we learn, are down about 12% in comparison to 6 months ago. So now Mr. Flynn, that's the older gentleman who is sick, he is trying to strategize. We're going to see how that pays off. Vic Flynn, he still wants the bartender Gloria. He is still creepy, okay? And he actually bought a new tombstone for her deceased mom. And how we find that out is that Gloria is actually at her mom's site at the cemetery visiting her, and she sees the huge, like, standing tombstone. It is big, and you know that Vic spent some money on it. So Gloria is appreciative, but she doesn't even seem spooked out by Vic. And I feel like, that's the one thing that we need to address here. Like, how did he know, Gloria, that you were going to be at the cemetery visiting your mom, and then he just walks up? It's not like you had to text him like, oh my gosh, you ordered a new tombstone for my mom. He literally walks up once he saw that she was all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. It's just way too stalkerish for me. And I feel like with the paying for the tombstone, then it's hard for the woman, Gloria, to be mad at him for stalking her because he did something so expensive and so touching. But girl, do not ignore your intuition. You know that that's creepy how he walked up. So anyway, Tommy and Blast from the Past girl, I'm sorry, you guys, that I did not research her name like how I researched the other characters when I wrote my notes. Please forgive me. But she and Tommy met with Mr. Flynn. Now, Mr. Flynn, he has a thick Irish accent. It's a lot, but we're just going to roll with it. Tommy asked Mr. Flynn to work with him with CBI, Chicago Brothers Inc., saying Mr. Flynn can't hang with a black crew, so he needs Tommy to be like his liaison. And I agree with that. It's a deal, Mr. Flynn agrees because Tommy runs with Vic to deliver some product with one of their regular customers. And this scene, y'all, it is absolutely crazy. So they get to this guy's apartment, and it looks like a loft apartment, spacious, white walls, looks really cool. Well, he is high as a kite in the daytime, and he is butt naked DJing with turntables and everything with a naked girl. So obviously, they must have done some DRUGS and had a little S, and they are both just high as they want to be. So DJ Naked pulls out a gun all of a sudden, but Tommy and Vic, they get the scene under control. The girl grabs a jacket, she leaves out, and Tommy tells Vic to paint the walls. And that's when Vic takes a pillow and puts it over DJ Naked's head, and you're smart enough to guess what that means to paint the walls with. So then Tommy goes to visit Diamond, who's at a boxing gym. He's at a boxing gym with his brother Jay. And Tommy offers Diamond a deal to work with the Flynn family. And at first, Diamond says no, because he's like, I don't want to be like their inferior part, and they're going to be like my bosses, but yet they want me to do all this dangerous work in my hood in Chicago to help make them money. They're not going to talk down to me, so that's why I've never worked with them before. But Tommy uses his sales finesse, and Diamond becomes open to it. So now when Diamond first gave a no, Jay was like, yeah, so Tommy, go. Before you say anything else, just get out of here. And then, Tommy, again, uses his sales finesse. Diamond is open to it. He asks a question, which if you've ever worked in sales, you know that when you give your sales pitch, if someone asks a question, that's a buying sign. So as soon as Diamond asks Tommy a follow-up question, his brother Jay gets mad. He's like, what are you doing? We're not working with Tommy. And Diamond is like, you don't make the decisions for CBI. Jay is like, well, I have been when you were in jail. And Jay says that they have to fight over the head of CBI. They have to box. So the two brothers get in the ring and they box it out. And at first, Jay has some moves that Diamond did not anticipate. I think Diamond, and I'm the baby of a large family, so sometimes your siblings, they still see you as that little kid, especially when you're that people-pleasing kid, or when you're that kid that used to look up to them in a very admirable way. You admired them. And I do think that the Jay character used to really look up to his brother Diamond because he ran, their drug organization. But then Diamond went to prison for 15 years, and Jay had to draw from his inner strength and his inner knowledge that he learned from watching his brother, and obviously he has helped the CBI maintain while Diamond was away. So Diamond comes back home, and Jay kind of has some ego and some immaturity, and that is actually cutting into their brotherly relationship as well as their working relationship, because now they're in the boxing ring fighting over who's going to be the head of CBI. And yeah, Jay may have gotten a couple of licks in on Diamond, but Jay even tried to use like mental psychology. He's like, oh, now your body is telling you to tap out, Diamond. Go ahead and tap out. And Diamond's like, no way. And he actually whoops his brother's behind, and he actually, I guess, won his already, existing position as head of CBI. So I just thought that was a very telling scene. And then Jay, he was even immature and weak enough to let Tommy see he and his brother disagreeing over him. So I kind of feel like, Jay, if you really don't want Tommy to be involved in CBI, the last thing you need to do is let Tommy see you be jealous of him working with your brother, and then you argue with your brother about it in front of Tommy. Then you wage your brother to a fight in the boxing ring, and then you lose. So it kind of speaks to, again, Jay's immaturity and perhaps how he lacks some leadership skills. And just a side note, I absolutely love Tommy's car. I don't know what it is, if it's a Mustang. Of course it is an old school classic car, but I love that he drives that. That is just awesome. So for all of you car lovers, please let me know in the comments what kind of car that is. So Tommy brings Diamond to the Flynn family. Remember, Tommy met with Mr. Flynn about working with CBI, and then he approached Diamond in the boxing gym, and it was all a go. So now they meet up with him. And Mr. Flynn is an absolute butthole, y'all. He has been holding a grudge against Diamond and the CBI for years in regards to an incident where I guess there was some shooting at a vehicle that had a woman in it, and all of the glass in the vehicle fell on her, and she had to get several stitches to recover. So they're still mad at him for that. And Diamond said, that wasn't CBI and that wasn't me. You just thought it was CBI. And Diamond said, you all retaliated and took out 9 of my men, and I never did anything back. And Mr. Flynn said, well, you didn't do anything back to me because I would have took out 19 of your people. So then Diamond is just sick of the disrespect, understandably so, and he walks out and the deal is dead, okay? So Tommy is in shock and is annoyed that the Flynn family, it almost seems like they kind of played Tommy. They had him thinking that it was a go to work with CBI, because really they just wanted Diamond there to go off on him, rehash the past, and basically let Diamond and CBI know, we will never work with y'all ninjas, okay? So, Tommy, I guess, living in a fantasy world. It was, let me not say fantasy world. It's almost like And in Michigan, in the Metro Detroit area, it's segregated as well. We all know New York City is very diverse. They say that every possible ethnicity is represented in New York City. So Tommy, his character cannot relate to how different drug organizations occupy different areas of Chicago based on race. That's what this episode really outlines. So Tommy thought that he could bring the CBI, which is the black crew, and the Flynn family, which is the whites. He thought that he could bridge them together just because he can't relate to the racial divide being from New York. But then at this scene that I just talked to you all about, Tommy gets a reality check that in a segregated city like Chicago, no, you're not going to be able to bridge everyone together. So Tommy walks out, after Diamond. He says, I'm sorry, man, I did not see that coming. Meanwhile, detectives are watching. They got to be watching the Flynn family because one female detective, she takes a picture of Tommy and she says to her partner, is this like a new Flynn employee? And honestly, I think it's just because the Flynns are white and then Tommy's white, and then so they just assumed that Tommy was working for the Flynns. So the feds is watching, okay? So then the sister Flynn, I can't think of her name either, sorry, cuts Tommy off on the road. And Tommy gets out the car, she gets out the car, and she tells him that he's going to be obsolete, like basically not even needed soon because of her. And so the sister of the Flynn family, she kind of reminds me of someone who feels unheard and ignored. Remember one of my previous recaps, I talked about how she tried to recommend a strategy to Mr. Flynn, her dad, and he just totally ignored her. And her brother Vic didn't even say, Dad, she has a good point, or at least hear her out. So I was just thinking like, okay, she's gonna make a move. I hope it's not based out on pride, but I hope it's a legit strategy. Well, then we see a scene, it's basically at the end, where she's with her girlfriend and they are talking about a drug that gets FDA approved because of some chemical that's in it. Basically, the purpose of this scene is to show how intelligent the sister of the Flynn family is, but the Flynns, they're basically sleeping on her intellect. So now she's about to go rogue. She tells her girlfriend, not with my family, just you and I. And then they kiss, and then the episode goes off. So Sister Flynn, she is planning on dealing without her family. I can assume that she's not going to collaborate with Tommy since she said you're going to be obsolete soon. She's planning on taking everybody out, y'all. So we just have to see what that sister, has in store. And then I know the very end of the scene. My notes right here. Gloria texts Tommy. She was in the mood for some loving. Tommy was down and they hook up at his place. And that's how the episode ended. But it was awesome. Not just action-packed, but I feel like it's beautifully written. The actors are executing on everything, and I just feel like we're really being, set up to enjoy some episodes in the future. And I love it a lot. So let me know in the comments what you all thought about this episode. And thanks again so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please give a thumbs up on the video, or even if you want to dislike it, I guess that will at least help me somewhat with the algorithm. I do want to reach more and more people, of course, because there will be other things that I will bring in addition to show recaps, so we can build a community amongst ourselves. Thank you so much again for watching, and take good care. Bye-bye.